Hello again. Look at how generous I was. I gave you a few more minutes to actually enjoy that coffee. Actually, I enjoyed a few as well. I hope you're not too jet lagged because I know that some of you are coming from France. I just saw some of you just backstage, and yeah, you look a little bit tired. So it's good that you had coffee. Look, without much further ado, let's continue the program. I'm going to invite on stage our speaker. We talked this morning about IoT at scale, tracking. Let's now look a little bit about energy and IoT solutions for actually sustainable energy. And for that, I'm going to invite on stage Pierre, Cheyron, the CEO Southeast Asia of Engie. Please help me welcome him. Guys, big round of applause for Pierre. Pierre, the stage is yours.
Thanks. So I see I have the difficult task to come right after the coffee break. So I try to be as concrete and as dynamic as possible to keep you awake. So the topic I'm going to talk to you about is how IoT solutions are being essential to us achieving our mission for our customers, which is to help them implement successfully their zero carbon transition. So I'll try to be as practical as possible, and I think two key messages, two key takeaways I would like you to leave with today is, number one, there will not be a successful zero carbon transition without heavy digitalization of the entire energy chain. And in this digitalization, IoT has an essential role to play, and I will give you some concrete examples. And number two, we've passed the stage of just doing proof of concepts in the entire chain of the energy business, and we are now using IoT solutions to accelerate the energy transition for our customers on a large commercial scale. And I will give you some concrete examples on that. But maybe a bit of context first. Maybe you're not familiar with that, but the energy industry has been going for the past few years through a massive revolution and transformation driven by the ultimate goal, which is achieving sustainability. And that's what we've made our core business in Engie, helping our customers achieving and successfully implementing their zero carbon transition. Of course, this requires completely changing and transforming the way we produce, we distribute, and we consume energy. So this requires a lot of investment in the energy infrastructure. But this also introduces a lot of complexity in the way we produce, distribute, and consume energy. A complexity to which the traditional energy world was not used to, and which can only be managed efficiently by introducing a lot of digitalization and intelligence in the entire energy chain. And that's where IoT comes into play. We now have, in the energy business, to manage a complexity we were never used to before. We have to manage a lot of different data because power production is becoming more and more decentralized, local, etc. And that can only be done through something we were not used to, which is collecting a lot of data from the entire chain of the energy business and analyzing this data and allowing us to maximize the efficiency we can drive out of the energy networks. So, digitalization in the energy business is something relatively new. Ludovic mentioned this morning that internet was going through its third wave with IoT. The digitalization of the energy business is relatively recent, but it went fast and deep for two main reasons. First of all, we will not be able to implement fast enough the zero carbon transition without digitalizing the entire energy chain. And this also is a competitive advantage for us because it drives a lot of efficiency in our existing infrastructures and businesses and services. So what do we see for us in the energy ecosystem? basically that digitalization can help moving towards sustainability and zero carbon in many, many different aspects of buildings management, cities, and even at country levels. We are introducing now digital solution in all these bricks of the building management and the energy chain. And these are just examples. Huh? And what's very important is we believe that we will not be able to decarbonize all this chain by just simply replacing equipment without introducing into it smart solutions, database solution, data analytics solution, etc. Because the complexity of all these systems cannot be only managed by the traditional way we used to operate these equipments. So, to be a bit more concrete, so the first thing I wanted you to know is the energy transition, the zero carbon transition, will not happen fast enough without digitalization. And in it, IoT plays an essential role. So I wanted to be a little bit more concrete because it's after the coffee break and you're all sleepy. So just to give you some real example, because that's the second message, IoT has been a buzz in the energy world for a couple of years, and most of the projects were like small-scale proof of concepts. What we've done in Engie, and we've done it in Singapore and in other countries with Sigfox and Unabiz, are real, live, commercial projects where IoT helps us to accelerate the energy transition for our customers. So the first one on the left of the slide is a contract we have with a hospital in Singapore. So for the Singaporeans here, this is the largest maternity hospital in Singapore. I think half of the Singaporeans were born in this hospital, so you know which one it is. And we implemented an IoT network, an IoT set of sensors based on Unabiz network, and a platform which allows our teams and the hospital team to have in real time monitoring of the temperature and humidity in 100 spots in the hospital. That improves dramatically the efficiency, the reactiveness of our maintenance teams, and can help us driving energy savings for the hospital. It's a live network, it's a commercial contract, it's not a proof of concept or trial, and it's delivering results. The second one is a project we are working on with an international airport in Singapore. So you guess which one? Where we are implementing Unabiz sensors. We are using Unabiz network with our sensors, to monitor also the several criteria and parameters on the passenger comfort for the airport operator, but also for our maintenance teams, which are maintaining all the mechanical and electrical equipment in the terminals. The third one is a concrete also example with the bank networks in the Philippines. So I won't give you the name, but it's a big bank, and where we are going to implement in 50 of their branches first, some sensors to monitor the air conditioning, the temperature, the occupancy of the branches, so that we can improve the energy efficiency. For example, if there is no customer in a branch, you could decide remotely to increase the aircon temperature, or even switch off the lights if the staff, when they left at night, they forgot to switch off the light. So this drives energy efficiency for the bank itself, but it also improves the customer satisfaction. Because we can see in real time when and where there are issues in a specific branch, and alert the bank to maybe add some staff because the queues are too long at the counters, etc. So this is also a project which is under implementation in the Philippines using IoT sensors. But For us, being a utility and an energy company, we have massive retail business in gas and electricity in Europe. For us, the volume in IoT business today in our energy business comes from smart metering today. So we have implemented in France more than 5 million smart meters using IoT, of course, to transmit the information. But we have much bigger ambitions, and not only in France. We are discussing with some other countries and other utilities. So the point of this slide is to tell you that IoT in the energy business, which I said at the beginning is essential to achieve the zero carbon transition, has now reached a commercial maturity stage on a massive scale for various applications. Some basic applications can be, as I showed you, in the hospital, just temperature and humidity monitoring, but it can go further than that, like the examples in the Philippines bank. And it can be on a massive scale, like what we are doing in France in smart meters. So the beauty of it, I think, is that this is something which we were not necessarily ready for a few years ago in the energy business, but through partnerships like the partnerships we have with Unabis in Singapore, we are able to onboard in our traditional energy infrastructure and networks these solutions on a much faster pace. IoT clearly allows us to accelerate the implementation of smarter and more efficient solutions for our customers. That's all I had to say. I have one more example, though, to show you. So again, two takeaways. Number one, the zero carbon transition will not be achieved without heavy digitalization, and IoT is a pillar of this. And number two, we are not talking anymore about proof of concepts or trials. We are talking about real commercial implementation of IoT solutions on a massive scale in our traditional energy infrastructure businesses. So one more example I wanted to show you where IoT is going to play a massive role. This is a contract we signed with the city of Engie in France, which is 200,000 people city, I think. And they have decided to trust us and a consortium, including Sigfox, to make the entire city of Engie smart, but not as a proof of concept. The entire city is going to be rebuilt in terms of infrastructure, in terms of lighting, utilities, etc. And all that will be supported by IoT solutions, which will allow to better manage the city and generate significant savings for the city of Engie. So I think instead of me presenting you what we are doing for Engie, the best is to let the mayor of Engie himself tell you more about this project. So I don't know if you can launch the video.
Hi, my name is Christophe Béchu, and I am mayor of the city of Engie in the west of France, located in the Loire Valley. But I'm not here to describe my beautiful region, to describe the wonderful gastronomy of France, and especially of the west of France. I'm here because I have decided with all the elected people in the area of Engie to launch a very ambitious program to create here in the west of France, especially in Engie, the first French global smart city. And after a strong competition, some companies like Engie, Suez, La Poste, and Sigfox have won together this very important project who will cost to our city $200 million for 12 years. And we have decided to invest very, very strongly because it will be the key for local companies, for startups, for people to be connected to the world and to save money in the public services, or to spare some resources for contribution to the change of climate. But at the same time, it will be like a promise of the French Silicon Valley we want to create in the west of France. So why the choice of Engie and Sigfox? It's because we can have a proven quality of service for a very good price. And with this concept, with sensors, less and less expensive, using no batteries, it's a perfect mix between good price and good commitment for environment. So choosing Sigfox for connected all the Internet of Things, it will be the best way to keep money to develop uses, to develop new services toward the citizen, or to create new startup, incubate new company. And so it's why we are very proud to work with the French unicorn Sigfox. Enjoy Singapore and see you in France, and especially in Angers, to discover the first global smart city. Thank you.
Thank you, and that concludes my keynote. Thank you very much. Thank you.